Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and patch 10.2 has finally made it over to the PTR, a major content update for Dragonflight, which opens up a next chapter into this expansion. 10.2 is an ambitious update that's going to bring in a ton of new changes, from massive class revamps that ultimately alter how certain playstyles interact with endgame content. We also got a brand new raid tier as well as Season 3 content on the horizon with new Mythic Plus as well as PvP changes. We got a brand new zone, even more dragon riding updates, a ton of new customization options, and likely a lot more stuff announced over the next few weeks as we get more builds over time over on the PTR. In today's video, I wanted to cover everything that we know so far of the 10.2 and highlight the biggest updates that you can look forward to if you plan to play in this next new update. But right before we get into this list video, most of you guys watching these are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do, so let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell if you're watching these videos anyway, especially if you want to get more regular content regarding Dragonflight 10.2 or any of the future updates going forward. First of all, we got a brand new zone of the Emerald Dream in its full glory, an overgrown continent flourishing with life in every direction, with certain point of interest areas like the raid entrance surrounded by gigantic elvish structures. But we also have certain hotspots where a conflict is brewing between the fiery primal elementalists assaulting the denizens of the tranquil dream. And the zone is so big the screenshots cannot give it enough credit. While normal flying is planned to arrive either in the patch 10.2 or shortly after, dragon riding is going to be a necessity just to get around this place. The zone is much larger than what we got with the patch 10.1 with the Zaralek Caverns. It's a lot closer to Waking Shore, Anaran Plains, or the Azure Span in terms of its overall size. The zone of the Emerald Dream is also filled with new public events like a Super Bloom, which transforms into the Emerald Bounty, which has players rallying together to restore pockets of the Emerald Dream from recent invasions and collect rewards from the group participation. Besides this, we have a whole lot of new treasures as well as new rares, an entirely new renowned faction for us to interact and gain rewards with, and a new world boss that will be ready for testing over on the PTR at some point in the near future. Next, we have the Season 3 content arriving with the patch 10.2, like a brand new raid of Emerdrasil, the Dream's Hope, which has a nice mixture of boss encounters, from wild spirits and dream guardians defending the instance, to fire druids as well as fiery elementals, and of course the main big bad of it all, the spicy Farak. Outside of the raid, we have a new season of Mythic Plus dungeons with a brand new dungeon pool, which features Dawn of the Infinite Part 1 and Part 2, as well as Dark Heart Thicket, a dungeon that's very relevant to the story of the Emerald Dream, a dungeon from the expansion of Legion. Blackrook Hold also returns from Legion as well. From the expansion Battle for Azeroth, we get less linear instances like the Waycrest Manor as well as Atal Dazar. Warlords of Draenor brings us the Everbloom, and from Cataclysm we're bringing back Throne of the Tides, which I hope goes through a lot of development time as it has an elevator boss, third boss that was entirely skippable, and the final boss encounter that was somewhat messy to imagine in a Mythic Plus environment. For the fresh season of PvP in Dragonflight, we got a lot of class changes. Some are going to be part of class revamps, and others will be in the form of PvP talents specifically, to give classes a lot more options when it comes to competing against others in arenas or in battlegrounds. Also, solo queue rated battlegrounds are planned in the near future. Similar to the solo queue arenas, you'll be able to queue for battlegrounds that are a lot more competitive with waiting involved. Though they're planning on doing a couple of changes for solo BGs, they're planned to be around 10 to 15 minutes per match in length, and the team sizes will likely be shrunken down to possibly 8 players. Before the solo queue rated battlegrounds go live though, a new brawl of Battleground Blitz will be active, which will give us all a chance to test out solo queue battlegrounds, find issues with them, and make corrections before the official solo queue RBG mode goes live. Third thing on the list is massive class revamps arriving with 10.2. We got changes to rogues which are going to drastically transform their entire talent trees altogether, providing them with new gameplay elements while adjusting some of the painful points. Demon Hunter is another class that's planned for a revamp, but right now this current build does not feature any updates. Healers in general are going through a ton of changes wholesale. Every single playstyle is going to see adjustments to their mana generation, their single target healing output, their AoE healing, and cooldown management. Besides this, we also have smaller adjustments, but some much needed talent refreshers for classes like Hunters, Druids, and a few others. Number 4, this patch is also going to feature even more customization options, whether it comes to character customization or Druid customization specifically. For now, we do know that Blood Elf customizations are coming, and current PTR build has only a handful of options, but likely we'll see even more features roll out over in the PTR over the next few weeks. But since this is a patch of Emerald Dream, of course they're going to give a lot of love to Druids, which are getting a ton of new options. A ton of forms have been data mined for the PTR but are not ready for testing just yet, but it may be a good idea to start working on a Druid alt right now, especially if you want to utilize some of the new animal shapes arriving with 10.2. Number 5, a new legendary weapon is being added for this brand new update. In a recent interview, it was asked what kind of a weapon is it? Is it an agility axe or is it a strength axe? But from what we know so far, this axe legendary will not have any ties to a class. This means that any class that can wield a two-handed axe, so hunters, shamans, warriors, death knights, paladins, ideally should be able to utilize it as a potential weapon. Though I'm sure over the next few weeks we'll get more details on how to acquire this weapon and what its unique effects are going to be. But if it's anything like the Evoker legendary from this current update, this one will likely be a weapon sought after by everyone. Number 6, we have brand new armor sets, with every single class getting a brand new tier set. These are sets that you'll be able to acquire through PvE or through PvP content. Every single one of the sets has a unique class identity. Every single set is going to have a small touch of the Fire Incarnate, but outside of that, every class retains their own unique silhouette. Rogues will be sneaking up on their targets in stealthy leathers while hiding their identity. Priests are going to have a very much angelic feel to them, like every other set. Death Knights are death incarnate, from the dread metals to the spikes that represent their deadliness, while Paladins are the opposite, representing the regal, fiery justice. Mages look like classic wizards, warriors look like walking bunkers, and every other class has their own uniqueness baked into every one of these sets. And like before, every one of these sets will come with a tier set bonus, which changes depending on your class's current spec. And compared to the last few tier sets we've had so far, these are going to be even more specific. Not all of them, some of them are more generalized in terms of their playstyle and talent choices, but others are going to be specific in which capstones you want to capitalize on because they come with some powerful bonuses. And number 7, 1002 has a variety of new mount bonus for players to collect, from a brand new dragon riding mount of the Fade Drakes, but also even more transformative ways that you can customize your Proto Drake or even your Slither Drake, for example, depending on the PvE or PvP endgame content that you interact with. Then we also have mounts that you'll be able to earn directly from activities within the Emerald Dream, whether they are faction specific or from slaying rares, solving puzzles, or by improving your standing with the newest faction. One of the more unique mounts is going to drop from Mythic Farak as the final boss of this tier. This mount is a dragon riding mount, or it has at least the dragon riding dynamic flying capabilities, but it's actually a fiery owl. This will be the very first mount that isn't a dragon, but does have access to dragon riding. Though based on recent data mining, it looks like a lot of work has been done in the background to add dynamic riding or dynamic flying to a lot of the older mount models, from griffins to wyverns, which could mean that dragon riding could be coming to the rest of Azeroth, not just the Dragon Isles, sometime in the near future, maybe with a 10.2.5 or even a 10.2.7 update. And for now, that's going to be every major update that's been announced with the patch 10.2, which is available for testing over on the PTR, and we'll likely see a variety of different class changes, content updates, and a variety of additions over the next few weeks until this patch is eventually released. 10.2 does not have a release date just yet, though it's possible that it could be releasing way late in October, maybe even really early November, if the Turbulent Timeways event correlates with the release of 10.2. I want to thank all of you so much for watching this video and hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. as per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single video and live stream, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video or hang out with the rest of the community to discuss some of the upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.